You must have heard in the news that Finland and Sweden decided to join NATO officially. These countries always wanted to join NATO since NATO's inception. It was just the moment of truth they were waiting for. So our main focus in these discussions will be why Sweden and Finland want to join NATO now. What are the consequences Europe can have after their joining? Apart from this question, we will also going to have what is NATO is all about. What is their motto? And are they really following the path of settling peace around the world? Lastly, why Turkey has opposed Finland and the Sweden's membership? This portion is very, very important because to become NATO's membership, every existing member have to vote unanimously. If Turkey will going to oppose, then Finland and the Sweden will never going to be the member of NATO. Their membership will going to go to the hold. But first, we need to discuss what is NATO is all about and what is this organization's motto. The full form of NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It is an intergovernmental military alliance between 30 states. Among them 28 are European states and the rest are United States and Canada. The NATO was established in the aftermath of World War II on the insistence of Truman administration. Harry S. Truman was 33rd President of United States. He became president right after the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt. So during his time, Cold War was started between USSR and USA. The NATO came into existence on 4th April 1949 during Cold War. The NATO is a system of collective security. These organizations came into existence because to avert any military attack from USSR. But after the disintegrations of USSR in 1991, these organizations was not disbanded. It is still here. According to the NATO's Article 1, these organizations supposed to take peaceful and democratic way to solve international disputes. Despite being peaceful or democratic, they always choose violent way to solve different international events, like Bosnia-Herzegovina intervention, Kosovo war in Afghanistan, war against Iraq, Libyan intervention. Among these events, only Afghan war was legit. But the other were fake and farcical. The Afghan war was legit because the Afghan-based terrorist organization attacked a sovereign state. It was the right for the United States to attack the Afghanistan. The NATO always used its power to change the different regimes of different countries, but most of them turned out to be the disastrous. Do you really know what is the NATO's motto? The NATO's motto is ANIMUS in CONSULENO LIBER, which is a Latin word, which means a mind unfettered in deliberations. We need to look at every word very carefully. Unfettered means unrestrained or uninhibited. The deliberations means long and careful consideration and discussion. But what are we seeing in Europe? Are we really witnessing any unrestrained careful discussion? If unrestrained careful discussion would have happened in first place, then Ukraine war would not happen and the Russia will never attack Ukraine. Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, would never destroy his own country single-handedly. Zelensky had done this to his country out of the vanity of fake pride. He earned his fake pride, but his country is gone. And the Ukrainians are really not understanding the bigger picture because they really do not want to look at the truth. Now come to the next point, which is the most important part of our discussion. The question which we will going to discuss, why Finland and Sweden eager to join NATO in this fluid and pretty volcanic time. I am saying the time volcanic because Russian President Vladimir Putin already warned Finland and Sweden to get ready for consequences if they join NATO. The Russia has already cut electricity supply to Finland and they have also cut the gas supply to Finland. But after that, they are still insisting in joining this military alliance. But why? Because of their country's political alliance and ruling class. We need to understand what political coalition running these two Nordic nations. In Finland, the political coalitions of Social Democrats, Centre Party, Green Party, Left Alliance and the Swedish People's Party are running the country's government led by Prime Minister Sanna Marin. In Sweden, the coalition run by Swedish Social Democrats, Moderate, and the left led by the Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson. So all these political parties are left-wing. They all believe in socialistic view. And they use democracy, peace, coalition and sovereignty to spread war and hatred around the world. Even America's Democratic Party is leaned towards the left. We all know the communist or concept of communism left became the null and void after disintegrations of USSR in 1991. But the concept of left never died. It is still there in Europe in the form of democracy, peace and sovereignty. These countries use democracy and peace as their commodity to sell their ideology. This time too, they are trying to justifying their acts of joining NATO under the garb of democracy and peace. They know if they join NATO, Russia will retaliate. And USA will not going to bear the losses for these countries just like they did with Ukraine. The USA do not love Ukraine or Ukrainians. It is all about business. Business of selling weapons to the rich Europeans. The USA is far away from Europe. USA destroyed Russian economy without firing single bullet. Now Putin do not have anything to lose. So Putin will going to use total retaliation. I mean the total. The total also includes nuclear. And if they use the nuclear, that will be the devastation for the world. And that won't be any world left. And there will be any world left to rule for anybody. So these are all American trap. And the European leaders have to be sensitive about their own country and Russia. I do not think they do not want to be the hero like Zelensky, someone who is responsible for the destructions of his own country. Recently another issue has arrived in front of NATO, and this issue is Turkey do not want Sweden and Finland as the member of NATO. The Turkish president Recep Tayyip Erdogan vowed to stop these nations to become the member of this military alliance. But what are the some serious objections Turkey have? We will going to tell you briefly about that. The Turkey is one of the NATO's oldest member. It became the member in 1952. And Turkey have the second largest army among all NATO countries, right after the United States of America. And we also know to become a member of NATO, Finland and Sweden need all 30 members vote unanimously. If Turkey vote against these countries, then they cannot become member of NATO. Their membership will be on hold. So the Turkey's vote is important. And the Turkey do have problems with these countries. And for Turkey, these problems are serious enough. We all know that Turkey have the problems with the Kurdish population living in the east of Turkey. Because of these Kurdish populations, Turkey wants them back. And because these Kurdish populations wants the Kurdistan as an independent country or an autonomous region within Turkey. So the Turkey regarded the Kurdish leaders as the terrorists of the state. And these leaders belongs to the main rebel group Kurdistan Workers' Party. And the Kurdistan Workers' Party run an extremist organization called the People's Defense Force. As these leaders belongs to these groups, so for the Turkey, these are terrorist organizations. And the peoples, those who are associated with these organizations, they are all terrorists, according to Turkey. That is why the Turkey banned these organizations. Apart from that, Turkey have the problems with the leftist extremist organizations, which is Revolutionary People's Liberation Front, and followers of the US-based Muslim cleric Fethullah Gulen, who Ankara claims was behind a failed military coup attempt in 2016. So for Turkey, they are all enemy of state. Here especially Sweden came into picture, rather Finland. But for Turkey, Finland is also not an holy cow, because the many Kurdish and the other exiles have found refuge in Sweden and Finland over the past few decades. According to the Turkish-run media, Finland and the Sweden refused to extradite 33 people or 33 Kurdish leaders wanted by Turkey. Ankara simply wants them back to the Turkish jail. Also, these two nations started a weapon embargo against Turkey in 2019. And because of that, the Turkish weapon supply was reduced but not banned. They did that because the Turkey invaded the Syrian north to eliminate the Syrian Kurdish population. Ankara also do not want to make the same mistakes like they did in 1980s. What they did? They did allow Greece to be a NATO member. Now in today's time, the Greece threatens Turkey because Athens have the full NATO backing. Now, here the Russia came into picture because the Russia backed Turkey's demand. And Russia know there are some countries within NATO will stop Finland and the Sweden membership. Turkey is among them. So Turkey is trying to hedge its bets by taking the advantage of the current situations. Apart from that, Turkey also demanding the some favor from USA. Turkey is under FATF grey list and its lira is also falling. So Turkey wants to get out of FATF. Also Turkey wants to get back to F-35 fighter jet program. Because the Turkey was kicked out of F-35 fighter jet program because they bought S-400 missile from Russia. See, from my point of view, the US have to focus in its own domestic policy. The US is facing some serious problems. The problems regarding gun violence, gas price is too high. During Donald Trump regime, the gas used to cost $1.2 per gallon, but it is touching $5 per gallon now. Their supply chain is crashing down. Because of that, the baby food shortage has occurred. And some other problems are there. So US should not distribute or disturb the Europe by giving Ukraine $40 billion in the name of peace, democracy and sovereignty. Do you really know what will going to happen with this $40 billion? The half of it will going to be used to buy the weapons, and all this money will go into the pockets of the American weapon manufacturers. And these weapon manufacturing companies are the main culprit in this European debacle. And the West is blaming India for not taking stand against Russia in the favor of Ukraine. They have to understand the fact that the India is also a democracy and sovereign country. It has an elected leader and well capable of making the decision for his own country. And Indian democracy is very much alive because of Sanatani culture, to be precise for the Hindus. How many Muslim countries have the meaningful democracy? They have to look at the bigger pictures. And the bigger picture is that the India is the sleeping superpower. And it is rising slowly but steadily. So the world have to wake up in the midnight sun. And midnight sun and should give their ear to the India's word. Again, in my view, all this happening because of the America's fear psychosis. America is losing its superpower tag to the two Asian giants. One is China and another is India. They cannot do harm to India because they do need India to contain China, because China is the economical superpower and the military superpower. And China is threatening United States in Pacific Ocean specifically. The America has woken a sleeping giant by poking in its back. The America always create the monsters, and by nabbing monsters they earn the fake pride around the world. And they are very good at it. Because this is the way they run their economical engine. This is the end of the topic. Now we have reached our questions. The first question is, Ardeshir B Dubash recently received the Order of Merit in the diplomatic service by which country? The first option is Canada, second is France, third is Peru, fourth is Japan. The second question is, UN Food Program has announced that it is in discussions with India on procurement of which product. First option is rice, second is wheat, third is sugar, fourth is palm oil. If anyone wants to contact me through this email address because of you having any doubt or any kind of queries about this topic or any other topic which I have uploaded, please contact me to my email address, which is tuhin.power.academy@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support.